Final preparations underway for Election Day. Good evening, I'm Jiminita Swain. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tens of thousands of Bahamians are set to return to the polls once again on Thursday as the general election draws near. And among that group will be persons quarantined due to COVID-19. After the challenges plaguing the voting process last week, the Minister of National Security sounds off on what changes residents can expect. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Following the chaos and crowding at the advanced poll last Thursday, Minister of National Security the Honorable Marvin Dames anticipates a different scene when voters head to the polls for the general election Thursday. He stresses this was the first time the country dealt with the number of advanced poll voters that had to be processed due to amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act. But he expects some kinks would have been ironed out.
I met with the Parliamentary Commissioner and his team yesterday, as well as the top brass of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and Defense Force. They're currently going through a series of debriefings and briefings, and you can expect come Election Day that you would see any number of those issues that you saw at the advanced polls are rectified.
Little adherence to social distancing and voters having to wait on long lines for hours, just some of the challenges plaguing last week's advanced poll amid the COVID-19 pandemic. For a while, it was up in the air if quarantinees would be allowed to cast their ballots in the general election. This group has since been given the green light, with officials stressing that the necessary safety protocols be adhered. Those voters must also return to quarantine after voting. Clear social distancing markers have to be placed on the ground in polling rooms and walkways outside. All voters and poll workers must also wear face masks, properly covering their mouths and noses, while ballot booths and utensils must be sanitized throughout the day. Dames told reporters the intent was always to treat the environment like everyone is quarantined.
I don't have the benefit of those before me, but our intentions has always been, as a government, that we want to ensure that every registered voter is given the opportunity to exercise his or her rights during the election period, and every steps are being taken to ensure that that happens in the safest possible way.
As to whether quarantined persons voting alongside the general public will impact turnout, Dames gave this response.
You may have quarantined voters among you right here, right now. Quarantine voters are all around us. You don't know who they are. Again, our intentions is to ensure that we go into it assuming that every voter is quarantined. So we're gonna take extra steps and additional steps. The Parliamentary Registration Department, along with the police and the defense force, will take extra steps come Election Day to ensure that the voters are masked, that they're keeping their distance, and that they're sanitized.
According to the Parliamentary Registration Department, 194,525 Bahamians are eligible to cast their votes in this year's general election. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
If you missed anything, we've got you covered. Subscribe to our ZNS Network YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for breaking news, live event coverage, web exclusives, and much more.